Good evening. Thanks for being here, all who came. My name is Garrett Lagan. I'm the Vice Chair of the Board of Directors for the Canary Coalition. This is the 19th annual meeting of the Canary Coalition's membership. Our organization officially came into existence as a 501c3 nonprofit in the year 2000. In this period of time, we've become an important voice in the community, advocating for environmental, social, and economic justice in North Carolina and beyond. Tonight's agenda includes completing the election process to choose 4 of the 9 members of the Board of Directors for 2-year terms. We stagger the terms of the board members, so next year in 2019 we'll be electing 5 members. If you have interest in serving on the board, please get in touch with myself, Avram, any of the other board members, many of whom are here. Let's see. Or you can send an email to info@canarycoalition.org. After we complete this process, our executive director, Avram Friedman, will read the annual report about the current activities of the Canary Coalition, followed by a discussion on any and all of these issues. Those interested can sign up to get involved in the various task forces related to each activity. At the end of this discussion, we'll be screening the 28-minute documentary produced by the Canary Coalition called Stop the Fracking ACP, about opposition to the Atlantic Coast Pipeline. This story follows the 200-mile walk to protect our people and the places we live that took place in March 2017 in eastern North Carolina along the proposed route of the pipeline. The food table is open for your convenience. It looks like everybody's found that. Donations are accepted but not required. Okay, so let's get started with the election results. We've counted the ballots that have been sent through the mail. Are there any nominations from the floor for candidates other than those on the mailed-in ballots? Going once, going twice, 3 times, sold. If not, the results of the election can be announced based on the mailed-in ballot count. Congratulations to Larry Nessler, Vicki Davis, Olga Lampkin, and Jacqueline Rue, I think. Rue? Sorry for mispronouncing your last name. Who have now been elected to 2-year terms. We also want to extend our deep gratitude to the 2 board members who are leaving us tonight, Betsy Swift and Angela Leonard. We are very grateful for the time and the service they've put into the organization, and we wish them well in all future endeavors. Thanks also to our other board members still serving, Laura Baxley, John Moore, Thomas Raincrow, and myself. And now, I'd like to introduce our Executive Director, Avram Friedman, who will give his report on what the Canary Coalition has been doing this past year. Avram.
Thank you, Garrett, and thank you all for being here. Since the last half of 2017 until today, the Canary Coalition has been breathlessly busy. The most important new activity undertaken by our organization has been the startup and continued operation of Mountain Stream TV, an online television station that now broadcasts the news and endeavors of grassroots groups and individuals focused in Western North Carolina. Mountain Stream TV is providing in-depth coverage of the work of environmental, social, and economic justice organizations and individuals, activists, local artists, musicians, and writers, local government activities, and local issues. We've covered the work of the Indivisible Movement, the NAACP, the Dogwood Alliance, the Smart Roads Alliance, the North Carolina Climate Solutions Coalition, the North Carolina Creation Care Network, Mountain Shrew, Community Roots, Progressive Nation WNC, Forward Franklin, the Poor People's Campaign, Down Home NC, and so much more. We're building a video media foundation, a widespread audience with comprehensive archives that we intend will be a great resource for the community for years, hopefully decades to come. Nonprofits, grassroots organizations in Western North Carolina no longer have to work in the dark for lack of coverage in the corporate news media. Mountain Stream TV is here to shine the light on this important work. But Mountain Stream TV is only one of the Canary Coalition's current activities. Hey, Bonnie. North Carolina Climate Solutions Coalition. The Canary Coalition is a founding member and holds a seat on the board of the North Carolina Climate Solutions Coalition. This broad statewide coalition is working with Dr. Mark Jacobson and a nationwide team of scientists, activists, and enlightened public officials in demanding a rapid transformation away from fossil fuels to 100% renewable energy in all energy sectors, including electricity, heating, and cooling, and transportation. Dr. Jacobson and his team of scientists have developed a comprehensive plan for getting this done in each of the 50 states, including here in North Carolina. NCCSC has successfully introduced supporting resolutions in 15 local governments in the state so far. The Canary Coalition has been directly responsible for 7 of those resolutions getting passed, including the Silvertown Board, the Webstertown Board, the Franklin Town Council, the Macon County Commission, the Waynesville Town Council, the Canton Town Council, and the Clyde Town Board. In addition, we're currently working on getting this resolution passed in Bryson City, the Swain County Commission, the Hendersonville Town Council, the Brevard Town Council, and the Transylvania County Commission. We also intend to reapproach the Jackson County Commission that has so far not indicated support for passing the resolution. Perhaps with the help of your advocacy, we can change that in the coming year. Another major project of the Canary Coalition is the Efficient and Affordable Energy Rates Bill. North Carolina House Bill 427 and Senate Bill 236, the Efficient and Affordable Energy Rates Bill, was designed by the Canary Coalition and introduced for the 4th consecutive time in the 2017 session of the North Carolina General Assembly. There are currently 15 legislative sponsors and co-sponsors for our bill, 11 in the House and 4 in the Senate. This bill seeks to restructure the utility industry in North Carolina by changing the economics of energy production and usage. It employs a tried and true method of creating an inverted tiered block rate structure to provide a powerful economic imperative for investment in energy efficiency and rooftop solar for homes, businesses, and industries. The basic principle is that the less energy you use, the less you pay per kilowatt hour. The ratepayer is rewarded for conscientious use of energy and for investment in energy efficiency. Wasteful energy, on the other hand, becomes more costly. The legislation also creates an energy efficiency bank to provide low-interest loans for efficiency and solar projects. These 2 provisions together are designed to result in a 50% reduction in statewide energy consumption within 10 years, while creating thousands of new living wage jobs and new industries throughout the state in the fields of energy auditing, energy efficiency, and rooftop solar energy installation and maintenance. Another major endeavor of the Canary Coalition is its central role in developing and promoting the North Carolina We the People campaign and the introduction of the North Carolina We the People Act in the North Carolina General Assembly. The Canary Coalition was instrumental in organizing the North Carolina We the People campaign in 2017, and it continues to address a problem that is key to all environmental, social, and economic issues. That problem is the money in politics. The fossil fuel industry, the big banks, the pharmaceutical industry, the private prison industry, the war industry, and other powerful interests have gained almost complete control of all branches of government by buying elections enabled by the notion that corporations are people and money contributed to political campaigns is a form of speech protected by the First Amendment. This inherently undemocratic practice has incrementally evolved through a series of U.S. Supreme Court decisions, including, but not limited to, Santa Clara County versus Southern Pacific Railroad in 1886, Buckley versus Vallejo in 1974, and the Citizens United decision in 2010. In North Carolina, this overwhelming corporate influence and control has manifested itself in many detrimental ways such as in the defunding of our public educational system, grossly gerrymandered legislative and judicial districts, the refusal of federal Medicaid funds that would ensure up to 500,000 additional low-income people, and with deep consequences to our natural environment through the deregulation of clean air and clean water policies, land conservation, and safe forestry practices. Due to enormous and ubiquitous political campaign contributions, Duke Energy has so much influence over the North Carolina legislative branch and state regulatory agencies that their powerful lobbying team generally writes the regulations by which they themselves are supposed to be governed. For instance, prior to holding his current position, the chairman of the North Carolina Utilities Commission, Edward Finley, was the lead attorney for Hunton & Williams, the firm that has handled all Duke Energy's legal matters for the past 3 decades. As a result, we continually see a rubber-stamped process for determining annual rate increases, where electric ratepayers are forced to pay for coal ash cleanups, expensive abandoned nuclear power plant projects, and a vast expansion of fossil fuel infrastructure such as a new fleet of natural gas power plants and fracked natural gas pipelines at the expense of a comprehensive energy efficiency program and the rapid development of North Carolina's vast renewable energy resources such as solar, wind, geothermal, ocean waves, and tides. So, the Canary Coalition and its partners in the North Carolina We the People campaign have introduced legislation in the North Carolina General Assembly that will allow North Carolinians to vote on the issue and tell the U.S. Congress that we're joining 19 other states who have already called for a constitutional amendment declaring that corporations are not people and that money is not speech. We have 17 legislative sponsors in both the House and the Senate. If it doesn't pass this year, we will introduce it again after the 2018 general election. Another activity of the Canary Coalition is its involvement in the North Carolina Creation Care Network. This network brings together members of the religious community with environmental and social justice activists in advocating for climate issues. The Creation Care Network last month staged its first event, the Clean Energy Action and Justice Day in Raleigh. We held a press conference with friendly legislators in the press room of the legislative building and then staged a march around the government district delivering letters to various government agencies demanding attention to climate and energy issues. The event was completed with a closing ceremony outside the legislative building with a water ceremony provided by members of the Lumbay Indian tribe. The Canary Coalition video documented this event, and it's available for viewing in our archives on Mountain Stream TV. We have also been active in the campaigns to stop the Atlantic Coast Pipeline and the Mountain Valley Pipeline, 2 projects planned by Duke Energy and Dominion Power to bring fracked natural gas from western Pennsylvania and West Virginia down through Virginia and into North Carolina to feed a new generation of natural gas power plants. We have to stop this from happening. To that end, the Canary Coalition created a 28-minute documentary about opposition to the Atlantic Coast Pipeline that we'll be watching tonight, if I ever get finished talking. One more thing I want to mention is the Canary Coalition's association with the NAACP. It's important to recognize the aspect of environmental justice in all our work. In almost all cases, it is the least advantaged who suffer the worst consequences from environmental degradation and destruction. Waste dumps, factories, and power plants are often located near poor white, black, brown, or Native American populations. Pipelines are routed through rural areas where the industries believe there is the least ability by the population to resist them. The NAACP and other civil rights groups understand this, and so there is a natural alliance with the environmental organizations and community. I serve as the first vice president of the Jackson County NAACP, and we all work very closely together. On August 11th, the Jackson County branch of the NAACP and the Canary Coalition are jointly coordinating a field trip to the Highlander Center in New Market, Tennessee, about an hour and a half from here. The Highlander Center has a rich history of training community organizers in grassroots tactics and strategies. They hold workshops on training for civil disobedience, citizens' lobbying efforts, and ways in which people can influence local, state, and federal government policies through grassroots activity. Rosa Parks and many other civil rights organizers of the 50s and 60s were trained at the Highlander Center. On August 11th, we'll be getting a free one-hour tour of the center by their staff, who will also provide us with lunch for $12 a person. If you're interested in joining us on that trip, please see me later. We are living in extraordinary times in which democracy itself is under attack, the planet is in global climate crisis, injustice is running rampant, and economic security is getting more and more elusive to more and more people. It has never been more essential for progressive people to work together and to not give up. We are making progress, and we will not give up. Our movement is growing. Ernest Hemingway once wrote a book called "The Sun Also Rises." It's important to remember that. Thank you.